What's up, YouTube? J Mitch here, ready to talk some WNBA hoops on this Saturday. I don't know if I'll be posting it, but we did just catch the Phoenix Mercury beat the Chicago Sky 107-86, and it was a very rough watch. Last weekend I caught the Chicago Sky and the Connecticut Sun. I was very thrilled by that game, excited and optimistic for their future, hoping that they would keep that momentum going. But it appears they did not, as this was a rough one. They struggled a lot. The score really doesn't even do it justice. You have to really watch this one to understand what I'm saying, because this Phoenix Mercury team was destroying the Chicago Sky, like, in all aspects, offensively, defensively. As a watcher and spectator of the WNBA the last few seasons, I will say, turnovers do seem to be kind of a high, like, they happen quite often in the WNBA. They happen often in the NBA too. I just watched the Pacers the other night. They turned over the ball multiple times in the fourth quarter at a critical point in the game. So, it happens across the game of basketball. But man, they just really put the belt on Chicago Sky, and I'm not even here to critique them in a negative way, because I actually am a fan of, all around fan. It's like my poster really does justice on speaking to, that I love all the teams. I've been really excited watching WNBA basketball these last couple of seasons, and also reason why I wanted to kind of get on YouTube and start doing these reviews of certain games that I'm able to catch and things is because I've noticed WNBA journalism is not, it can have very negative criticism sometimes, and I'll get into that here in a little bit later in the video, but I really want to speak on this game. So again, the Phoenix Mercury 107, Chicago Sky 86, but that first half you knew the game was over already. Man, what can I say? Sammy Whitcomb, I have to tip my hat off to her. 5 of 10 from the 3-point line. That's 50%, but at one point in the game, it felt like she was making every 3-point attempt. If she would have finished with 100% threes, you would have been able to fool me, because that's what it looked like was happening. I remember, I got it pulled up here. The final game, it looks like I want to say they ended from the 3-point line 52%, but I tell you, man, that first half, it was around 57% from the 3-point line. That is absolutely just phenomenal playing, phenomenal basketball skill from the Phoenix Mercury. Like, I do believe this team can go to the finals this year. I do not see it being a repeat of the Aces and the Liberty. Somebody is coming in there that we did not see last year. I do believe it's going to be a different matchup. I know the Liberty were off to a hot start, undefeated, but they did, suffer a loss at the hands of the Indiana Fever. So we'll see what happens. It's still early, but this team is clicking. So yes, I pulled it up from the 3. They ended up about 48.6. Definitely went down in the second half just a tad bit. Still 48.6 is really good after all. They out-rebounded Chicago, and this is a Chicago Sky team that we know can get some rebounds between Angel Reese, Miss Me-Bounds, and Camila Cardoso with that height. But they were out-rebounded 34-22. Here it is here, the largest lead of the game for the Phoenix Mercury. I almost thought they were going to go 40, but 36 points. So again, the Chicago Sky, you can't come out and perform like that. Their coach receives a lot of criticism. Some warranted, some maybe not. I am very skeptical of his lineups, the starting lineups specifically. I'd love to advocate that Haley Van Lith should probably be starting, and the reason is, regardless of struggles, she's a rookie. And, to build her confidence up, get her, to be able to play like she did last weekend. Last weekend, she played great basketball. But that only can be consistent if she is actually getting consistent minutes. And I think she gets the minutes, but I think starting her do something to that confidence if it happens consistently to where we will see her be able to play at the level that we know her to play. Because if you watched her in college, I don't care if it was Louisville, LSU, or TCU, you know she can hoop. And so that's what I was saying, when comes to the negative criticism of WNBA basketball, it's very unfortunate. I'm not going to sit here and, lie. I do not recall who exactly, but I did see where a former WNBA star did actually say that Haley Van Lith, if she didn't have the social media following she had, possibly wouldn't be in the position she's in or where she's at. I highly disagree. As someone that really has been tuned into college basketball probably the last 5 years at the minimum, that's absolutely inaccurate. Haley Van Lith more than deserved to get drafted when she did. I was happy to see where she went. Angel Reese and her have played together. That chemistry is already there. So that's what I'm saying. The head coach last year took a chance, and she started the 2 rookies between Camilla and Angel Reese last year. I'm going to need, their coach this year to do the same. Again, so like I said, he receives a lot of heavy criticism and some warranted. But, yeah, put that battery in Haley Van Lith's back, and I think you could see a potential turnaround. And it might not happen right away. But this is a team that's already sitting at 3-9, you guys. So, things obviously need to change for them in order to start performing better on that court. And what's crazy is they had the home field advantage. I do see the Phoenix Mercury are 5-2 in away games. This is what I'm telling you about this team. They are absolutely going crazy this year. Their bench players, which in the second half, I'm sure they, got a lot more minutes, but they combined for quite a bit. It looks like 28, 40. Yeah, they almost had 50 points from the bench. If that's how they're going to be performing all year, this is going to be a really tough team to beat. The Chicago Sky does seem like they kind of gave up in the second half. I really hate to say that. I don't want to. But, when you bench Camila Cardoso after having as many points as she did in the first half, she had 17 to finish the game. I want to say all 17 of those points were in the first 2 quarters. And she was pretty much sat down. I understand resting players, but, the game, it could have been winnable if the drive was there, but it seemed like in the second half the drive was not there, and that cannot continue. I don't care, about their record. It's still early, do what you can to turn it around, even when playing these tougher teams, because it's just going to get harder. I don't have their schedule pulled up right in front of me, but I'm almost certain they're going to have to go against the Indiana Fever again, being in their division. So with that team clicking the way they are and starting to get off the ground and potentially make a real deep run in these playoffs later in the year, you want to be able to compete with these teams because you're going to see them regardless. So the whole we didn't perform well in the first half, so we're going to sit everybody in the second half, that can't keep going. I'm just be honest, as a critic, as a form of critique. But I'll wrap this up. I don't want to ramble too long. I just wanted to focus on that game specifically. I'm going to be doing more games, not focusing just on one particular team. Again, that poster behind me, it should let you know that I'm interested in all of them. I really want to see who the final 2 are this year. I think it'll be a great season of WNBA basketball because it has been thus far. A lot of feistiness, people getting physical out there, and nothing wrong with that. That's the game of basketball, man. Nothing happened too crazy today. I did see, I'm looking around on the social media after I like to do that just to kind of see anything I may have missed. And Kalia Cooper, a former Chicago Sky, she did a little bit of taunting there at the end. I'm kind of curious what that's about. I'm sorry if I said Cooper. I meant Kalia Copper. Kalia Copper, no disrespect. She had a great game, too, by the way, 16, 5 of 12 from the field goal, but 2 of 6 from the 3. She had a great game, 4 of 4 free throws. She did a little bit of taunting at the end. I was quite taken aback by that. I didn't know that maybe she felt any type of ways against the Chicago Sky, and maybe she doesn't, but maybe, it's a competitive sport, like I just said, so these things happen, but no physical altercations or anything this time. Last weekend Angel Reese did get her braid pulled. Hey, I don't have long hair, but I would not like anybody pulling my hair if I did, especially when I'm trying to play the game, because I can only imagine the way that hurts, and it's just like how does that even happen? Like, I'm just gonna be honest. Some people were saying like it was an accident, and I get that, but yeah, man. All in all, the Chicago Sky have to do something, and I think it starts with that lineup. Switch it up. Yeah, you're going young, but hey, preserve your old players. Your older players. I'm sorry, and have them come off the bench. It just seems like it's working for other teams. So nothing wrong with it. These they're starters. I have nothing against them. They perform rather well, but again, 3-9, something has to change. So we'll see what happens. Stay tuned. I will definitely be putting out more reviews on these WNBA games. I know the Indiana Fever have one tomorrow. I don't want to be wrong, but I think it's against the Mystics. Let us see here. I can actually figure that out rather quickly. They're playing really good basketball right now. So, my apologies. They will be playing the Aces tomorrow at 2. Okay. Yeah, that one is going to be very interesting. Las Vegas Aces, like I said, I think we'll see some different teams in the finals this year. Love Asia Wilson. Last year's MVP is outstanding. But they've had some struggles this season, so this will be an interesting game, I must say. Okay. Pardon me, I actually had their opponent wrong. I knew the Fever were playing, but I did actually forget it's the Aces. So perhaps I might be able to review that one. I'll definitely, if I am able to tune in and hit y'all with another video. This is Jay Mitch pushing hard line. Women's sports and overall is headed in a great direction. And again, any journalists out there, let's have some sense of, let's just try to be more positive when speaking on how women are performing, because at the end of the day, they're giving it their all. Nobody's out there, just playing half of themselves. And so when we critique them, there's all these factors that come into play. And I think we need to have a little bit more heart and understanding when we critique these women in these sports, WNBA specifically, because that's what I'm talking to you all about today. But yeah, man, 107 Phoenix Mercury, 86 Chicago Sky. But again, at one point it was a 36-point lead. It was it shouldn't have even got that bad. But we'll see how the Chicago Sky go moving forward. And if they can play like they did against the Connecticut Sun last weekend and find that spark again, I'm very interested to see. Stay tuned, you guys.